Fast snacks, fast food, fast reviews. Snack Masters Inc., a podcast served to you in 30 minutes or less.
Snack Masters Incorporated. Snack Masters. Snack Masters. You'll be snacking with the Snack Masters. Snack Masters. Snack Masters. Snack Masters!
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Snack Masters Incorporated. I'm Dooner, here with Idaho's preeminent bunny sculptor, it's MSG. MSG, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. We've talked about this before, but our pets seem to notice when we're about to start recording this show. My cat, he notices in kind of a different way. He wants food, but he doesn't want the snack food. And he knows that I want things silent. I start turning the heat down. I start pulling down the blinds. I start soundproofing the room. So this new trick is to just start crying because he knows that in order to get him to be quiet, I'll give him a can of cat food.
Yeah, they've got good instincts, man. My dog, I come to down here and my dog sits and scratches at the door until I let her in. She somehow knows that it's time to get some residual snacks.
Easter candy. We've been doing jelly beans. We did Peeps the episode before that. Hey, the one thing I'm going to miss about Easter candy, and we've covered these things, something's good, something's bad. I really like the sour jelly beans and things like that have come out. But one thing I always liked was the Reese's peanut butter egg. And during the holiday season, you get candies that are shaped in the holiday spirit. And for some, it's good. When they take on this new form, the ratio, in the case of the peanut butter cup egg, for some reason, that hits the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate to me. Does anything taste better to you in its holiday form as opposed to its regular traditional shape?
It's hard for me to say. I tend to prefer, I don't even know if it's along the same lines, but the big fat candy cane stick, the big thick one. I think that tastes better than like a little candy cane or whatever, but I think you're onto something there. Reese's branches out and does different things and all that stuff, different sizes and all that, but I think you're right with the ratio on the Easter egg one, because even those little tiny Reese's, like the little tiny cups that you buy that are individually wrapped, I don't think they hit it right on those. If the standard being a regular cup where you just have to tear, the end of the wrapper open, you've got 2, or even if you go for the big pack, which I usually do, there's 4 in there. And it is the perfect chocolate to peanut butter ratio that they just don't capture with the mini ones. Those to me are tedious. You have to unwrap each one. And then when you put it in, it's more chocolate than peanut butter and it throws it off. You're right. I think with the Easter egg one, they nailed it.
Yeah, with the mini ones, what I usually end up doing, because it comes off so easily, is I end up biting the top chocolate cap off and then eating the rest of it and then just discarding that chocolate cap. It's just, there's something wrong with the ratio. It's just not proper. And somehow the Reese's egg, it really nails it for me. Geez, one year on Valentine's Day, I was dating a girl and because one of the most disappointing things is they used to, I don't know if they still do, but for peanut butter, they used to have peanut butter called Reese's peanut butter. But when you open the jar, it doesn't taste anything like the peanut butter inside of Reese's egg. It's just a marketing trick. So what she did is she took the Reese's eggs and she scraped all the chocolate off all of them and put all the peanut butter into a jar.
Ooh.
And gave it to me. Sweet thing. It sounded like a great, idea and concept, but I don't think I even finished the jar. So maybe that's why they didn't use that exact peanut butter when they did the Reese's peanut butter jar.
Wow, that is some serious dedication. Holy cow. I don't know what to think of that.
Do you ever do that with your teeth? Like gnaw off the chocolate around the peanut butter and just get the peanut butter? I've been known to do that as well, especially if I'm kind of bored.
No, because I'll tell you what, usually when I do historically buy the pack, I get the same thing. I go to the grocery store and I'll be so hungry and that looks the best for me. So what I always do is buy, I know this is like the worst thing I could do, but I buy the 4-pack of those and a 20-ounce bottle or whatever of A&W root beer. That's my snack and I eat them on the way home. So I don't get creative. Usually, like say, when I get to that point, I'm starving. I just shove them in my mouth and wash them down with some sugary soda. Yeah. Yeah, it could be worse, I guess.
Oh, we've been talking Easter. Mm-hmm. We saved the most popular one for last.
Chocolate.
There's some chocolate. Facts. 90 million chocolate bunnies are produced each year. Now, which way do you eat your chocolate bunnies? Because they did a survey on this. Where do you start?
Man, it's been so long, but I know I go with the ears. I know those ears are just like, they stick out. I want those first. I do definitely get the ears. And here's one thing I remember always being disappointed because the bunny was hollow. I remember that as a kid thinking, what a ripoff.
89% of Americans agree with you. They say that you should go ear first. Only 5% of Americans are like me. We like to go straight for the tail. And then I guess the rest is split up. There's smaller percentages of people who, I don't know, they go straight for the belly to disembowel it, like its feet, right?
Gnaw the face off of it, or yeah,
like its beak.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a beak. Like it's what do you call that? A snout or a nuzzle? A nozzle? A noozle? The largest chocolate bunny ever made weighed in at 6,635 pounds, and it was over 12 feet tall. It took a team of 4 people in South Africa 3 days to sculpt it. Wow. That's 12 feet. I wonder, do you think that one was hollow or was full? For a 12-foot tall bunny, you couldn't do a hollow one. It would probably break too easily, right? If it was real chocolate?
Yeah, unless they spread it around some kind of mold and called it good or whatever.
I mean, I'm assuming. I think that it would be full.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. How do you go about sculpting a chocolate bunny, too? That's what I would be curious. Obviously, a smaller bunny, you would just use a mold. But on something that huge, you would have to, I guess, just a gigantic rectangle. I wonder what you have to keep the temperature in the room that you're doing it at, so the chocolate just doesn't start melting while you're chiseling away at it.
There was this enormous pile of rabbit poop. I don't know.
65% of adults prefer milk chocolate to dark chocolate. Where are you on there? You a milk chocolate guy or a dark chocolate guy? White chocolate wasn't even in the running. It was too low.
I'm in the majority camp there. I go for the milk chocolate. I'm a fatty. I go for the milk chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, I was with you for a while. As I started to get older, I've been dipping my toe in the dark water, seeing how the other side lives. And you know what? Gotta say, I can see why they say once you go dark chocolate... 70% of all Easter candy sold is chocolate. So that's a substantial increase over, the Peeps and the Jelly Beans. They're old strong contenders, but chocolate, they own the night. 120 million pounds of candy are bought each year. Cadbury eggs, we're doing Cadbury eggs today. They are a limited time snack MSG. You can only get them from January through April. Then they are gone from the shelves, and you got to pay markup prices from third-party sellers on Amazon and from eBay.
Yeah.
The Cadbury egg, as we know it now, has been around since 1971. Cadbury, did you know this? They have their own amusement park in the UK called Cadbury World.
Wow, I'd like to visit. Sounds like a great place.
You ever been to the UK?
No, I've been to Canada.
Skeletor to King Randor. Come in, you royal boob.
During peak season, the Cadbury factory churns out 1.2 to 1.5 million eggs a day.
Wow.
That's some fertility. How do you think that they make these things?
Yeah, I've never really thought about it. Shoot. Looking at it, looks like maybe they segment and I don't know. Maybe, can you fill me in?
The eggs are made in 2 sculpted pieces, then filled with cream and pressed together.
Yeah, seal it. That makes sense. All right.
Well, they sell a lot of these things. More than 200 million eggs are sold in the UK alone. I don't have US stats, so I imagine they would be exponentially much larger.
Mm-hmm.
But some bad news was on the horizon for them. In 2015, after Mondelez, they own Oreo and a bunch of other brands, acquired Cadbury, 2 major changes were introduced. The shell was changed from dairy milk chocolate to a cheaper variant, and eggs were sold in 5 packs instead of 6. So angry consumers took to Twitter to vent under the hashtag Cremegate. Fans were so upset by these changes that sales dropped 7%, costing the company $8.6 million. And I love me a good dumb Twitter feud, but I never, in 2015, I don't recall hearing about Cremegate. Did you?
No, and that passed right by me.
I don't know. Either way, my package came with 4, which is about 4 too many. Why don't we why don't review these things?
Next. Sorry, this Easter, lots of bunnies are trying to be the Cadbury bunny. But there's only one Cadbury bunny, and he brings the 2 candies perfect for Easter. Cadbury's mini eggs with their sugar shell and milk chocolate inside, and Cadbury's cream eggs with their chocolate shell and creamy filling. Which is why no bunny knows Easter better than him.
Again, I know for each one of these categories, I kind of got something that obviously I'd had before, and I knew I would likely dread, but I wanted to reintroduce myself to it again as an adult. It's been some time. I've put some distance to myself, and you know what? I probably haven't had these since they switched from milk chocolate to the cheaper chocolate. So maybe that I don't know. Maybe that benefits my my low tier palate.
Yeah, I've got a limit. I do one a year. This is my one.
1 egg per serving. Again, my box has 4 in it, but you can buy these as loosies right at the front of the register most places. You're going to be in for 150 calories per serving, 6 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbs, 20 of those is sugar. This is just 1 egg. It looks like it's always looked. I like that. You know, it's still got the foil on there, and they seem to use the same font and everything that I've seen as long as I've been around with the, the green, the blue, the red foil wrapper. It's a nice presentation for what it is. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's familiar. It's nostalgic. At least they didn't mess with that and try to make it, hip or cool or anything like that. It draws your eye to it. You know what you're getting. One thing I can say is I buy the foil ones up at the register. Again, with these little thinly wrapped foil ones, it's always kind of a challenge, or at least a quest, to find one that hasn't been partially torn open, or
Whoa, is there like a lot of rummage going on where you live? Who's perverting the foil on here? It's not like this is a Kinder egg, It's not like you can peel the foil away to see what's inside. It's the same, like it or not, it's the same thing.
Well, I think it's just
same chocolate egg with cream in it.
I think it's just the way that they're handled or dumped in the bin or something. Sometimes they tear.
So you got a regular blue foil traditional one. Why don't you dig into that one? I'll dig into mine too. We'll bite into these concurrently and share our thoughts.
Sounds good.
All right. Let me hold my nose. Oh, man. Yeah. It's like Willy Wonka had an accident in my mouth. I'm really not liking the consistency of this cream. It's really sugary, and it's actually resting on a tooth somewhere that I probably have to get checked out because it's kind of hurting it. It's getting into a cavity. This chocolate's like really kind of melting, and it's sticking to like the sides of my lips right now. It's a very, very sweet product, and it's mushy. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not even going to take a second bite of mine. I don't know if this is any worse than they used to be. It's definitely not better. There's nothing really good about this at all.
Dude, I'm in heaven right now. I forgot what I typically do. I remember this now that I did it. I'll unwrap it out of the foil, obviously. Then I'll put it in the microwave for about 5 seconds just to kind of the inside of it a little bit of a runnier consistency. I have this way of eating it that I've probably done since I was a kid. I bite the top off. You get some of the chocolate and some of the cream in that first bite, but then I'll scoop out the rest of that cream with my tongue, so it's just all cream.
God, gross.
It just hits every taste bud. It just fills your mouth with sweetness. And I think most people are familiar with the consistency of it. It's just very thick. And I mean, what might throw people off is that it looks like an egg yolk,
By design, right? I mean, that's pretty intentional.
Yeah, no, I know, but still, it's kind of unnerving to some people to think that they're just eating a raw, at least in their mind, a raw egg. But then, I can't wait till next year, man. Get me another one of these.
The creamy yolk inside, and this looks like the type of bodily fluid you wouldn't want to encounter with a black light. The only thing I'll say about it, and I don't know if it's because it's just a little colder in my house, but I remember these being runnier when I was a kid. But this one here, you bite the top off, you hang it upside down, it's not really leaking out. It's a relatively thick consistency. I can see why you heated it up if you like it runny.
Yeah, that might be it. It might be something I'm trying to relive as my youth, because after biting into one of them as an adult, I just instinctively thought it was too thick.
I don't know, man. So I'm going to rate these. Most people are familiar with these, so we don't have to linger on them. But well, it didn't change my presentation. I've never liked these. I still do not like these. I think I like the black jelly beans. I mean, I like black jelly beans more. I'd rather eat a Peep than these. God, but it's hard. I can't go below a 2. You can't really mess with the cream egg, and you shouldn't really change the recipe too much, or else you'll start another cream gate. But it's, they're just not for me. But I like seeing them. I like seeing them every year. They bring back, memories.
These are a 10. Like I said, these are so nostalgic and so delicious to me that I couldn't see rating them any lower till my heart stops ticking, whatever. But yeah, these are a solid 10.
Sticking with Cadbury, another product they put out now, you see it all the time, beloved, the Cadbury mini eggs. They are milk chocolate with a crisp sugar shell. Got a bag right here. The macros on this is one package, 200 calories, 8 grams of fat, 31 carbohydrates. I'm going to break in these mini eggs. They're nice looking. They're well designed. They have a hard coat. They're not like an M&M though. It's more of like a matte coat instead of the shinier M&M coat. But they are about the size of a peanut M&M. They're just filled with that Cadbury chocolate. And if you like sort of the signature Cadbury chocolate, you're definitely going to like these. They are pastel in color. There's blue, yellow, white, and pink. They all taste the same. The color doesn't differentiate anything, but let me give these a shot. Hey, a little bit of a crunch factor. Yeah, man. See, these are really nice. I like that. They're kind of the opposite of the other one. The other one, you bite the chocolate and then you get like a burst of sugar cream. And that's not to say these aren't sweet. I mean, this is definitely milk chocolate. Doesn't melt in your hand. Again, similar to the M&M. These are good. You get the mini eggs ever? You like these things?
Yeah, I've had them before, and I know a lot of people just pound them.
They're very candy dishable. How are you with candy dishes? Like, if I see, even if there's like a spoon in there, but it's like unwrapped candy, it's like Skittles or if it were Cadbury mini eggs, or a lot of times you'll see with those like weird mints they have at Chinese places. I'm talking about like those chalky mints you bite into.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I won't touch like a candy dish unless I know the owner of the candy dish if they have like an open air one. Do you go into that thing in public? Are you one of those animals that goes in there with the spoon and scoops yourself some?
Not a chance. No, and they're pretty rare anymore. I remember, I think, great grandma's having the ribbon candy, that was always gross and disappointing and, kind of stuck together. That's my idea of a candy dish. But no, if there's one in public and it's unwrapped candy, not a chance. No.
Yeah, smart man. Don't live dangerously with that, especially nowadays. There's just as good a chance of it tasting like poo as it is of Purell. But these mini eggs, again, like I don't think these have changed much. I don't know if this was part of Creme Gate, if they lowered the milk chocolate on here. They taste pretty good to me. I can see why these are a staple of the holiday season. They look nice. They're the pastel colors. They're also speckled a little bit, so it's a solid presentation, a good taste. Can't really go wrong with the Cadbury mini eggs. The only inhibitor for me is that I'm not a huge chocolate guy, so I'm going to top these out at an 7.5 out of 10.
Fair enough.
I saw you picked up something really interesting that I want to hear about because I haven't seen them around me.
These are Hershey's Carrot Cake Candy Kisses. And again, they don't tout the fact that they're chocolate. I'm not sure. I haven't opened one up yet, so I'm not sure what they look like. Let's get into macros. Serving size, you get 9 pieces, 220 calories, 12 grams of fat, and 23 grams of sugar. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into these two. Now, opening them up, it's your standard Hershey's Kiss. They've got the little flag on them that denotes them as being carrot cake flavored. They're kind of a pastel orange color on the inside. It's sort of an off-putting pastel color, very artificial looking, but I'm going to go ahead and fire one of these into my mouth and see. Well, okay. So, okay. Well, here's my issue. I think what carries a carrot cake is usually the spices that they add. And I'm not even sure what kind of, cinnamon or nutmeg or what. These, okay. So you put it in your mouth and immediately you just get the sweet. And then it sort of slowly rolls into, hey, wait, there's something else here. It's almost just like a plain like white chocolate flavor. Eventually, after a couple seconds of chewing, you do get a little subtle hint of some spices or some sort of flavoring. But to me, it's way too subtle. These just kind of taste like just a white chocolate kiss that somebody breezed through a room with some spices in it or something. If I closed my eyes, if I didn't know what this was and someone handed it to me and I put it in my mouth, would I be able to identify it as the flavor that they gave me? I don't think I would say carrot cake flavor. I would rate this if you say that, a standard Hershey's Kiss being a 10, being the standard at which it's set, I'd have to slot these in at about a 4. I wouldn't pick these up again.
So we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Candies at holiday time that take on a different form or a different shape and are exponentially improved. That to me is the best example, any example I'd ever use for that is the Reese's peanut butter egg. If, you already had a Reese's peanut butter cup at 10, somehow you would have to move it down or turn it up to 11. to me, there's just something about this one. They really just killed the form factor and the shape, and there's just the right amount of chocolate to peanut butter ratio. It's a really great snack size. The facts on here is you get one of these eggs for 170 calories. There's 10 grams of fat, 16 grams of sugar. Let me crack it open. Oh boy, I have these, at least one of these almost every year, so I don't think too much could have changed about it since. These do tout the fact that they still use milk chocolate Reese's peanut butter egg. Looks just as good as always. It has a bit of a dimple on it, but that could have been from me just in my enthusiasm picking this up. I might have dented my egg because they're just so soft and nice. Let me toss this in my mouth. Yeah. Oh man. Just as good as ever. It's amazing how these peanut butter cups, they really nailed the flavor ratio. I wish that they had these year round. I can't even think of another snack that just benefits so much better from this form. You know what it happens with sometimes too is like pizza. Sometimes from different pizza places, their large pizza will taste better than their small, or their small will taste better than their large. But that's like the closest I can get to. Geez, these are a 10 out of 10. I love the Reese's peanut butter cup eggs. I know you didn't get one to review, but you've had them a billion times. What do you got to drop on the peanut butter eggs?
Oh, yeah.
Peanut butter cups, super popular item. You mentioned at the beginning you love the change of shape.
All right, I got you.
What's your opinion? I know you didn't get one to review, but you've had them a billion times. Where do you rank these bad boys?
Yeah, I'd put them at 11, only because, I mean, if you can go that high, if Reese's peanut butter cups are my 10, then just the fact that they're scarce and you can only get them every once in a while, just because the anticipation builds, and they are a delicious, delicious snack.
You know what's funny? Even like a slight tweak. Like I've gotten the Reese's peanut butter cup Christmas trees, which is a very similar shape. You think it would be the same, but it's just not. Mm-hmm. What else you got over there? You got another egg-shaped item, don't you?
Yeah, these caught my eye, and it's obviously a real kind of a knockoff of the Cadbury Creme egg. I think they're going for the same market here, but it's the Lindt Lindor egg, and I don't have any macros on it. These are sold individually, and same kind of little thin foil wrapper. What's really tough is to read any sort of writing on here. The foil is red, and the writing is yellow, so it's really, really hard to read. I can tell there's some German writing on here, but it says there's milk chocolate with a smooth melting filling. I'm a real fan of the Lindor, like the little balls that they have, that you unwrap, and, they always seems like a real fancy kind of upscale treat to me. So it's melted together from top to bottom, whereas the Cadbury egg goes two sides smushed together. This was manufactured very obviously with the top being separate from the bottom, like a plastic Easter egg. And there's little flowers etched into it. There's the logo of Lindt. They made a really attractive little design here with tulips and petals and some grass and stuff. So it's something to look at. But anyways, I digress. I'm going to go ahead and dive into it, just eat the top right off of it and see what we think here.
Yeah, I want to know what's inside.
Oh, okay. So if you're familiar with the Lindt ball, it's the exact same thing, just shaped differently, and I love it. It's got the outer shell of really good quality, melty in your mouth, milk chocolate. And then inside is this other confection, which is very smooth and creamy. It's almost like, I'd say almost spreadable. I can dig it out with my finger. And it's really cool. It's like those, it's that type of chocolate that makes your mouth feel, when you bite it, it fills your mouth with coldness. And it's a really rich, creamy chocolate flavor. I can't see me eating more than one of these just because they are so rich. These are really good. I'd say these are an excellent alternative to people that don't like the cream eggs. I'm digging this. This has got to be a 10.
Speaking of Lindt, don't you get like hair and because you have pets, don't you get like dog hair and I don't know, refuse and lint on those big candy canes that you said you liked earlier? Because those things, like, they always end up like falling on the carpet because they take so long to eat. They end up getting hairy and disgusting before you can ever finish them.
Yeah, I haven't eaten one of those in a long time, actually. I got one for my kid, and it was hilarious because immediately he unwrapped the entire thing. And I was like, dude, you just sealed your fate. There's no way you're going to keep that clean.
I was watching I, Tonya last night, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but Julie, he took out Nancy Kerrigan with one of those candy cane rods.
Really? Ouch.
We're Snackmasters, Inc. You can find this episode and all of our old ones at snackmastersinc.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and everywhere podcasts are heard around the world. We're on Instagram at Snackmasters Inc. There we have all of our food photos, mini reviews, and videos. Speaking of videos, we have a YouTube channel at Snackmasters Inc. At Snackmasters Inc. on Twitter. Any complaints, comments, corrections, you can reach us at snackmastersinc at gmail.com. MSG, before we go, power rank these holiday icons for me. Which one is obviously the best?
I think, I mean, if you're going to pick like the pinnacle, obviously it would be Santa Claus. He's worldwide. We have the Santa Claus key that you put out on the front door the night before, and supposedly he can use that to get into any house.
Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, and maybe the Easter Bunny.
Those three would be the top three, and I think in the same order. And the other ones are just kind of like bit players or cameo appearances or something like that. So, yeah, but Santa Claus obviously is the king.
Which one do you enjoy decorating the most for? For me, decorating, that's tough. Probably Halloween, because I love all the horror movie stuff, and I love all the fake blood. And Snackmaster Jr., he's really into that stuff, too. Although he really likes the Christmas stuff, too. He was just at the library with his grandma, and he was picking out a couple books, and she's like, you do know these are Christmas books, right? And he was like, oh, yeah, of course. And then, of course, she was like, be still my heart. Actually, I remember when I was courting my wife, I had this like iPad mini, and I had a dock in my house you could play it on. And I had the Motown Christmas album. A few songs from that were still stuck in there.
Wow! Mommy's kissing Santa Claus!
The first time she came back to my place, I put that on. It shuffled. I think that sealed the deal when she heard Christmas music out of Christmas season.
Yeah, I'd say if any of them, we do Christmas decorations, and it's minimal. We don't go, completely deck out our house and stuff like that. We're not one of those families, but we don't really decorate much for any other holiday, unless you count maybe some random Easter eggs in the yard for the kids to find.
Well, that's generous of you, because if people don't remember, and you go back to listening to episode 3, I believe it was.
Yeah, you can look it up.
MSG admitted something. He did not even put out a candy dish with Take One on it. On Halloween, he turned the lights out.
No, and let it be said that I don't put the Easter eggs out there for random kids to come and find in my yard. It's a coordinated effort between me and my son. I hide them from him, and he goes and finds them. So I don't know if that means I'm not generous in that respect, too. But no, there's no community involvement in my Easter egg hunt. It's just for me and my kid.
Well, I wasn't assuming. I think when most people do Easter egg hunts, they aren't just like altruistically littering Easter eggs throughout the woods for kids to come upon. Although, geez, yeah, like, I don't know if this ever happened to you back in the day, and I don't think it happens anymore. But when I was a kid, into generations before us, when you'd go into the woods, once in a while, you look in the right tree, someone's dad or some kid has stashed away some dirty magazines.
Yeah, that's become kind of a legendary. There's a name for it and all that stuff.
Yeah, woods porn.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a common occurrence. I don't get it. It's funny to think about, but yeah, it's there.
Like how it gets there? Who distributes it to the different woods trees? Like, this looks like a good hollow to put this in. Do you think they work for like the magazines, or is it something nefarious? Like there's a guy like in Silence Celeste with night vision goggles on, watching you in the woods as you're ready to spring his trap. Oh man.
I don't know. You never find it alone either. I remember you're always with your buddies and you stumble upon it and kind of pass it around.
Yeah.
Stuff. So
you think about it, who's ever sticking it there? They're probably not a one magazine dude. They have like so many. They have to start hiding them in different parts of the wilderness. Collection is just bursting at the seams. Oh man. Well, hey, Snackmaster listeners, have a happy Easter.
Snackmaster Jr., let's crack this egg open.
All right, Snackmaster Jr., what we have here is a milk chocolate Reese's peanut butter egg, a Cadbury cream egg, and a Cadbury mini egg. Which one do you want to try first?
This one.
This is a Reese's peanut butter cup egg.
But Penguin, you don't have candy.
What do you think of the peanut butter egg?
Peanut butter. Good.
That's a Cadbury mini egg. Give it a good bite. How do you like that one?
Like a schedule.
This is a Cadbury cream egg.
I don't want to eat chocolate eggs.
Oh, this is not a real egg. You're in luck. This is milk chocolate filled with cream.
Okay, I can have that then.
So which did you like better? The mini egg, the cream egg, or the peanut butter cup?
I will point it out to you.
Okay. Oh, the peanut butter cup? Those are Daddy's favorites, too. Snackmasters Incorporated.